applications of equilibria. Before that, considering the applications of equilibrium constant, let us summarize the important features of equilibrium constant. That is, first one is what? That is, expression for equilibrium constant is applicable only when concentration of the reactant and the concentration of the product have attained value at equilibrium state. So that's mean they attain equilibrium state. Then the value of the equilibrium constant, that is independent of the initial concentration. So this is the initial concentration independent of the reactant and the product. Then equilibrium constant is temperature dependent, having one unique value for particular reaction represented by a balanced equation at a given temperature. Then the fourth point is what? The equilibrium constant for the reverse reaction, this is the reverse reaction, is equal to the inverse of the equilibrium constant for the forward reaction. Then the very important point, the equilibrium constant K for a reaction is related to equilibrium constant related to the corresponding reaction whose equation is obtained by multiplying or dividing the equation for the original reaction by a small integer. So now let us consider the application of the equilibrium constant. The first one is there are 3 points of that is predicting the extent of a reaction. Second is predict the direction of the reaction. Then third one is calculating equilibrium. Calculating equilibrium concentrations. So these are the applications of equilibrium. First we will discuss the predicting the extent of equilibrium, extent of a reaction. In numerical value, the numerical value of the equilibrium constant for a reaction indicates the extent of the reactant, that is reaction. But it is important to note that an equilibrium constant does not give any information about the rate at which the equilibrium is reached, that magnitude of Kp or Kc. So that is the Kp or Kc is directly proportional to the concentrations of the product and inversely proportional to the concentration of the reactants. So this implies that a high values of K suggestive of a high concentration of product and vice versa. So we can look at this. If Kc is greater than 10 power 3, product is predominant over the reactant. So that is the Kc is very large. So the reaction proceeds nearly to completion. For example, hydrogen H2 with oxygen at 500 Kelvin has a very large equilibrium constant, so that the Kc value will be 2.4 into 10 power 47. Then another example, hydrogen gas react with chlorine gas to form HCl gas at 300 Kelvin. So at constant Kc value is Kc is equal to 4.0 into 10 power 31. Similarly, hydrogen bromide formation. Hydrogen gas react with bromine gas to form hydrogen bromide gas at 300 Kelvin. Here the Kc value is 5.4 into 10 power 18. So this is when the Kc is greater than 10 power 3. If Kc is less than 10 power minus 3, look at here. Here when Kc is less than 10 power minus 3, here reactant predominate over product. That is, Kc is very small. The first case Kc is very large. Here in the second case Kc is very small. The reaction proceeds rarely. This is very rare reaction. Example is H2O into H2 and O2. H2O to H2O2 at 500 Kelvin temperature. That is very small equilibrium. So here the Kc value is 4.1 into 10 power minus 48. Another example is nitrogen gas react with oxygen gas to form nitrogen monoxide gas. So here at 298 Kelvin. So here this Kc value is 4.8 into 10 power minus 31. So this is for Kc is less than 10 power minus 3. Suppose if the Kc is in the range of 10, if the Kc is range is 10 power minus 3 to 10 power 3, appreciable concentration of both the reactant and the products are present. So the example will be hydrogen iodide, formation of hydrogen iodide, H2 plus I2 to form 2Hi. So formation here the Kc value is 57.0. This is at 700 Kelvin. So here also the gas phase decomposition of the nitrogen dinitrogen tetroxide to nitrogen dioxide. So this is another reaction with the value. This is another reaction with the value for Kc is 4.64 into 10 power minus 3 at 25 degrees Celsius. This is 25 degrees Celsius, which is neither too small nor too large. Hence, the equilibrium mixture contain appreciable concentration of both N2O4 and NO2. See, you can see, for example, suppose the Kc, this is Kc means this value is 10 power minus 3 and this will become 10 power plus 3. This is extremely large and this is negligible. So here this is reaction hardly proceeds. This is both reactant and products are present at equilibrium, and this is the reaction proceeds almost to completion. So this is the predicting the extent of reaction. The next is predicting the direction of the reaction. The equilibrium constant helps to predicting the direction of the reaction will proceed at any stage. For this purpose, we calculate the reaction quotient. Reaction quotient, that is Q, simply denotes Q. So the reaction quotient for QC, that is molar concentration, the QP indicates with partial pressure, that is the quotient. It is defined the same way as the equilibrium constant like Kc, except that the concentration QC are not necessarily equilibrium values. For a general reaction, AA plus BB gives CC plus DD. Here in QC, writing of use QC because of concentration, so that product C power C D power D divided by concentration of A power A concentration of B power B. When if the QC is greater than Kc, the reaction will proceed the direction of the reactant. This is direction of the reactants. That means reverse reaction. If the Qc less than Kc, the reaction will proceed the direction of products. So this is forward reaction. This is the reverse reaction. This is the forward reaction. Suppose if the QC is equal to Kc, that means the reaction mixture is already at equilibrium. So this is attained equilibrium. There is no product or reactant side. So already attained equilibrium. So the example is H2 gas, I2 gas to form 2HI. That means Kc is what? 57.0 at 700 Kelvin. So here the suppose we have molar concentration of H2I2. Let's use H2. The molar concentration of H2 is 0.10 molar. This is and this is T, because of this T indicates time, and the molar concentration of I2 time is equal 0.20 m, that is molar concentration. So this T, the not necessarily at the equilibrium, sometimes that is that's the reaction quotient. Is here the reaction quotient is QC. At the stage of the reaction is QC is equal to what is that product? 2HI. So that H concentration of HI T power 2 divided by concentration of H2 T concentration of I2 T. So that's mean the values are given here, that I missed some HI value. The HI concentration, that HI concentration of HIT is equal to 0.4 mole. Substitute these value in this formula, you will get thus concentration of HI is equal to 0.40 mole per square divided by H2 is 0.10 into 0.20 for I. So you will get, after simplifying, 8.0. So now in the case of that is QC does not equal to Kc. This is Kc. Kc value is what? 57.0, but QC value is what? 8. So does not equal. So the mixer is H2 gas, I2 gas and HA gas is not at equilibrium. That is more hydrogen gas, and the iodine gas will react to form more hydrogen iodide gas, and their concentration will decrease till QC is equal to Kc. So the reaction quotient QC is useful to the predicting the direction of the reaction by the comparing the values of QC and the Kc. Okay. See, this is the predicting the direction of the reaction. So look at here, this here the QC and the Kc value. That means if QC is less than Kc, net reaction goes from left to right. Then QC is greater than Kc, net reaction goes to right to left. The first one is left to right. This is direction right to left, and if QC is equal to Kc, look at this, net reaction occurs. There is no net reactions occur. So this is the heterogeneous, predicting the direction of the reaction. Next is the calculating equilibrium concentration. Here some steps are involved. That is, in case of problem which have know the initial concentration but do not know any the equilibrium concentration, so you have to follow some step. That is, write the balanced equation. Write the balanced equation. Second, under the balanced equation, makes a table list for each substance that involved in the reaction. For example, hydrogen iodine, formation of that hydrogen iodide means that is you have to list out that all that reactant and the product. That is initial concentration, the change in the concentration on going to equilibrium, and the equilibrium concentration. So in constructing a table, define X, the concentration of that is X, the concentration of the concentration is mole per liter of the one of the substance that reacts on going to equilibrium. Then use the stoichiometry of the reaction to determine the concentration of the other substance in the terms of X. Then substitute the equilibrium concentrations into the equilibrium equation for the reaction and solve for X. If you are to solve the quadratic equation, choose the mathematical solution to make a chemical sense. The quadratic equation, that is X is equal to minus B plus or minus root of B square minus 4AC by 2A. So using this equation, then calculate the equilibrium concentration from the calculated value of X. Then check the result by substituting the equilibrium equation. So this is the calculation equilibrium concentration steps. Next is the relationship between the equilibrium constant, the reaction quotient, and the Gibbs energy. The value of Kc for a reaction does not depend on the rate of reaction. That is, and this is directly related to the thermodynamic of the reaction, in a particular to the change in the Gibbs energy, that is delta G. So Gibbs energy change. So when the delta G, look, the delta G is negative, then the reaction is spontaneous and proceeds the forward direction. When the delta G is positive, the reaction considers a non-spontaneous. This is spontaneous. This is non-spontaneous. So delta G is negative, spontaneous. Delta G is positive, means non-spontaneous. So that is, instead of the reverse reaction would have the negative delta G, the products of the forward reaction shall be converted to the reactant. Then the delta G is 0. There is no value. The reaction achieved at equilibrium at this point. There is no longer any free energy left to drive the reaction. So the mathematical expression of the thermodynamic view of equilibrium can be described by, that is, delta G is equal to delta G naught plus RT ln Q. Here the this is Gibbs free energy and this is standard Gibbs free energy. R is a gas constant, T is a temperature, and the natural logarithms of Q. Here when the delta G is 0 and Q is delta G is equal to 0, Q is equal to Kc. So the equation become what? So delta, this equation, delta G is equal to minus RT ln K. Okay. So here the ln K is equal to minus delta G naught by RT. So taking antilog of both sides, we will get k is equal to e power minus delta g naught by RT. So using this equation, the reaction spontaneity can be interpreted in the terms of the values of the delta G naught. So when the delta G naught is less than 0, then the minus delta G naught by RT is positive, and this delta e power minus delta G naught by RT is greater than 1. So e power minus delta G by RT is greater than 1. So making k is greater than 1, which implies a spontaneous reaction or the reaction which proceeds in the forward direction to such an extent that the products are present predominantly. If the delta G is greater than 0, what happens here? The delta G naught divided by RT is equal to negative. So, and here the e power minus delta G naught by RT, sorry, G naught, not G, G only, sorry, G naught only, RT is less than 1, so that the k is less than 1, which implies a non-spontaneous reaction or a reaction which proceeds in the forward direction to such a small degree that only a very minute quantity of the product is formed. So this is called the relationship between the QC, KC and the Gibbs free energy. The next is we will discuss factors affecting equilibria.